from Japan today. Trump talks tariffs and taxes, calls Republican host city horrible. Alright? Once again, allow me to remind you the elections, presidential elections on November. There'll probably be also some elections to Congress maybe and Senate on the day. I'm not quite sure. Can't quite remember well. However, yeah, elections, and both of these candidates are going to try their absolute best to sway the voters' opinion towards them. We're gonna read this, and I'm definitely gonna add some of my own sense to it. From Washington, Donald Trump criticized US aid to Ukraine and suggested raising tariffs to replace the US income tax on Thursday visit to Capitol Hill, where he also called the cities hosting his party's presidential convention horrible. In separate meetings with Republicans in the House of Representatives and the Senate, Trump sought to mend divisions ahead of the November 5th election that could see his party win control of the White House and both chambers of Congress. Trump floated the idea of reducing the US income tax and replacing it with tariffs, said Representatives Thomas Macy and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know who Macy is, however I know who Taylor Greene is. Yes, she's quite a piece of work. Reduce US income tax and replace it with tariffs. I'm gonna keep reading this because I would like to see it being explained a little bit more into detail. Hopefully we're gonna find a satisfactory explanation here. Otherwise I'm gonna have quite a bit to say. Participants said he shook hands with Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell despite their first relationship and encouraged hardliner Greene to be nice to House Speaker Mike Johnson after her failed attempt to depose him. Oh yes, the Republicans are not exactly united either. You probably heard that the Democrats are definitely not as united as they should be ahead of the elections, because there are elements in the Democratic Party which do not like the way the Palestine war has been handled. And the Republicans, there is a different story. It's a story between, moderative Republicans and the Trump Republicans. Basically, the moderate Republicans has to pretty much go hand to hand with the Trump Republicans, otherwise the entire Republican majority in the Congress would be overthrown. That's just how much the Trump Republican congressman and congresswoman likes Trump, that they would be even willing to vote against their own party. Which isn't a bad thing, alright? It is important for you to keep some sort of a personal standards, alright? So that you both vote and speak up against things you do not personally like. That is a very good thing, and this is something that definitely has place in a healthy democracy. Unfortunately, a lot of people simply change their opinions on a whim, like chameleons, like snakes. Therefore, it is much harder to actually hold these healthy discussions, as the people just want to be correct. They want to be the truth, and they don't really care about, actually being humble and admitting they were wrong or willing to change their own opinions about certain aspects of what. Instead, they just change their opinion on a whim, just start saying something they did not believe like 2 weeks ago. That's not really the way the democracy should work. There's a tremendous unity in the Republican Party. Yes, I just talked about it. I press very big X. I press doubt, Trump said after the Senate meeting. But the Republicans scrambled to explain after several media outlets reported that Trump privately called Milwaukee a horrible city roughly 1 month before he is due to receive his party's presidential nomination there. I mean, hey, he's honest. I've never been to Milwaukee. I don't even know how the city looks. However, if he doesn't like it, then sure. Sure, who are we to judge? I'm gonna take a sip. A quick sip of water. This is going to be a long one. But the Republicans scramble to explain, yes, we already had that. That could potentially alienate residents of the biggest city in Wisconsin, one of a handful of competitive states that will determine the outcome of the election. Oh, I see. A campaign spokesperson and several Republican lawmakers said Trump was referring to what they said were the city's problem with crime and voter fraud. A non-partisan audit of the 2020 election in Wisconsin found no evidence of irregularities. Trump supporters stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, fueled by his false claims that his defeat was the result of a fraud. Thursday's visit was his first public appearance on Capitol Hill since that day, and Democrats said he was not welcome. Nobody cares. After inciting deadly insurrection that defiled the halls of Congress, how dare Trump show his face on these grounds? Well, he's gonna show his face there much more when he wins if you don't get your shit together. Maybe he would not have won if you managed to actually get a competent candidate. However, oh well, you can't really teach stupid people to be smart, is what they say. Nobody says that, I say that. Democratic Representative Benny Thompson said in a statement, the Biden campaign on Thursday began running an ad in battleground states highlighting the violence of January 6. I would like to say who cares. However, I know the American people care about what happened there. There are many better examples that they could have used. For instance, I'm gonna use the biggest one, therefore the easiest one. The abortions, yes, the Republican states banning abortions. That's one of the best arguments. Like, if anything could mobilize, the voters, it is this topic. Like, this is the single biggest stupidity the Republican Party has done. And they did a lot of stupid things. However, as I said many times before, religion should never ever interfere with the politics. There are politics and there's a religion. It should never interfere with each other. Period. The Republican lawmakers said Trump told them he would work to expand the party's narrow 218 and 213 House majority and take control of a Senate the Democrats currently lead for 51 to 49. Yes, the Democrats currently lead. Sorry, I was thinking about something. Trump also advised House Republicans to not push a national ban on abortion and urged them to abandon the inter-party squabbling that has hobbled their effectiveness. So Maker said, I wonder why he said they should not push this specific team. Oh, I guess so. The women don't, expect anything when the Republicans come for their rights. This is a joke, obviously, for legal reasons. Tips and tariffs. Trump also urged. Oh, sorry, I skipped on. Don't worry, I'm gonna cut this out in the video. However, you will see this on VOD, and you'll be able to see just that. Yeah, this is not scripted or anything like that. I'm just shooting this from my side. I'm not preparing anything. I just pick articles, then I read them and add some of my insights with my own introvert persona. Anyways, let's keep going. Trump also, yes, it was Trump's first face-to-face meeting with McConnell since the January 6th attack. The two had not spoken since a few weeks before then, when McConnell affirmed Biden's 2020 victory. Two moderate Republican senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. Sorry about that. And Lisa Murkowski skipped the event. McConnell did not appear with Trump at the news conference after the meeting. Tips and tariffs. Trump also urged lawmakers to cut taxes on income from tips, an idea he first floated on Sunday to appeal to service workers, multiple lawmakers said. Trump used tariffs aggressively during his 2017 and 2021 term in office, placing levies up to 25% on a wide range of Chinese products as one of many efforts to thwart competition. Senator Mike Rounds said that cutting taxes on tips could help Republicans win over working class voters. If there was something we could do to re-energize that particular segment of population, that might be a real popular thing to do, Rounds told reporters. You know what would be even better things to do? If you actually acted like a conservative and be real with people that they need to, spend less. They need to probably raise taxes to certain sectors, maybe to the entire population, because United States has a $35 trillion debt, national debt. You probably don't realize how much money it is. Of course you don't. You never even had 1 trillion. Hell, not even Elon Musk ever had a 1 trillion. He'll probably have 1 trillion if the USA keeps printing money. Now to the point I'm saying. The conservatives should be doing their absolute best to save the US economy, to do something to change the US economy, to set their debt to start going down. However, at the moment, I don't see any of the parties doing anything to actually stop this debt from spiraling out of control. 35 trillion is a lot. It is higher than the USA generates an income throughout its entire year. It is 2 times and something larger than the China's year GDP, I believe, which is somewhere around 15 trillion. 35 trillion is a shit ton of money, and something has to be done with it. Otherwise, it will not end well. And reducing taxes is not going to help it. The end result is going to be printing more money, most likely. Most likely. It is always possible it will work out. However, I doubt it. I severely doubt it. So yeah, you should demand from your politicians to actually save you from debts, and instead of actually trying to buy you with gifts. Gifts won't do shit when the economy collapses. You're gonna end up on the streets while the ultra-rich will keep living in their mansions. And maybe they'll even, reinstate serfdom. So, slavery might actually come back. Who knows? If there was something we could do to re-energize that particular segment of the population, that might be a real popular thing to do. Rounds told reporters, yes, we read that. Biden's support among voters without college degrees or living in households earning $50,000 a year or less has fallen sharply. Reuters Ipsos polling shows, though large numbers of those voters have not shifted their support to Trump. Trump also criticized a $60 billion aid package for Ukraine that recently passed with Republican support, lawmakers said. He's like, if Ukraine wins, what will be the benefit? Republican Representative Don Bacon told reporters. Trump told Republicans they should allow states to set their own policies on abortion, rather than push for nationwide ban following the Supreme Court's 2022 decision that ended the nationwide guarantee of abortion access. Many in the party wanted to outlaw the procedure entirely. Yes, complete lunatics. But no, the Democrats want to ban weapons. They want to ruin the second article. Oh no, are the guns in the second article? I'm not quite sure. They want to, anyways, let's be clear. They want to ban guns. Oh no, they are ruining our freedom. Meanwhile, Republicans, oh, you want an abortion? Oh, I don't think so. I don't care that you're 13 and you were, avoided by a dude who kidnapped you oh no, you're just gonna have that baby and your entire life is going to be probably ruined. We don't care. We are Republicans. Absolute lunacy. Trump told Republicans, yes, he reiterated he thought that was the right decision, that some states will do one thing and some states will do another. Republican Representative French Hill told reporters. French Hill? Okay, that's a definitely interesting name and surname. Wow. French Hill. Okay, let's not make fun of other people's names. That's very impolite. Trump also spoke to Business Roundtable, an association of more than 200 corporate chiefs executives. Thomson, Reuters 2024. We have comments. Okay, we're gonna read some comments as well. Yet again, Trump shows that he has no economic understanding whatsoever. Raising tariffs to replace the US income tax is such a stupid idea. The tariffs are paid for by the importers, and so you are just taxing anyone who wants to buy the imported products. There's tremendous unity in the Republican Party, Trump said after the Senate meeting. Huh? That's not what anybody paying even the slightest attention has seen. Yes, indeed. Yeah, those are just this flag saying that yeah, we are so united. However, when you make even a 2-minute research into it, you just realize, that's a lot of horseshit. Or the tariffs are paid for by importers, so you are just taxing anyone who wants to buy the imported products, or people would switch to American-made goods, which would then mean taxes are being paid to maintain roads and infrastructure. We can clearly see, though, how Trump would run the country like his business, into the ground. I'm not an economic person, therefore I'm not going to add any of my input to it. Unfortunately, it is because Trump exerts absolute control over one party in the American duopoly. It is clear and present danger. Yes, this is exactly the danger of two-party system. This is exactly why the US is in such a shit. Because if somebody becomes really popular, that a 50% or so of your voter base would vote him and would openly go against you if you try to oust him or anything like that. Yeah, you're in deep shit. That's why I say that the healthy democracies should have at least 8 parties in the Congress or the Senate. At least 8 parties minimum with their own unique beliefs. However, usually those beliefs go to shit if these parties can go to power and get more money. That is the sad truth about democracy. Whenever there's money involved, the greed will always come. There are better odds that, like in 2016 with Trump's taking on Wall Street finance, and in 2017 with the so-called Tax and Jobs Acts, cutting the income tax after either not happened or morph into just a massive tax break for corporations and the wealthy, hurting the middle class. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, the wealth inequality in the US is definitely quite problematic. Whilst it may not be the worst in the world, it is definitely not the best. And the US rich people often brag themselves as being the best in the world. They should try to make their taxes and their wealth inequality also the best in the world. Well, they should make a wealth equality, obviously. But I think that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. We've been reading this for a bit. So yeah, Trump talks tariffs and taxes. It was not explained into detail here, unfortunately. Although I think it's somewhat of a good enough. Where was this about tips for the workers? I'm gonna take a sip of water and I'm gonna talk about it right away. Alright. Cut taxes on income from tips. I'm not quite sure if this is meant richer, like tips you get as a barmaid or, or as a restaurant worker, waiter. It would be even better if they if they were actually paid, by their own employers. But no, that would solve the problem, and US cannot solve problems. Oh my, like, what would they do if they solved all their problems? Like, who would they argue with? Can you imagine the dystopian future when there would be nothing to argue about? I cannot.